Today we are gonna build a retro futuristic Lego moon house. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be inspired by this very nice little GWP from Lego Ideas, which is the flying moon car, or I think that's how it's called. It's a very nice little set. There's a stand that comes for it, where we can put this flying moon car. There's two astronauts with some interesting transparent piece over here. We have a very simple base over here where we can attach sideways, where we can put inside sideways the moon surface with some craters. And then also here we have a sort of street sign, a street lamp for where this car is going into the traffic of moon. So this is a bit of a retro futuristic vibes. They remind me of those two CMF like retro heroine space minifigure, for which I already built a very fun habitat. Now the idea is to expand on this and create the house of these couple of astronauts. So as you can see here, this came out a little bit weird. And the video today is gonna be a way to show you what you can do even if you don't have the part that you want. So when I wanted to do this, the first thing I did was looking at reference images of interior and exteriors of some sort of retro-futuristic house, and I quickly realized that I don't have any of those nice pastel colors, or at least not enough to build something. So I've quickly realized that most of the structure have to be white, because that's the color where I have the most interesting and a bigger number of slopes, because this is supposed to be like a kind of curvy design. Then I take out all the like windshield and cockpits and transparent pieces that I think I can add to this. Also, I don't have many of those. And then find a little accent color. I went for this shade of like yellowish orange, which is the same one that is on this minifigure. I didn't follow this color scheme because I don't have any of this shade of blue in my collection. So here is what I have, or at least the beginning of it. Now we're gonna make it much nicer. If you're looking at these images now, this is some images from my members only vlog. You can see that initially it was kind of ugly, and I was actually worried that I wouldn't be able to make this look nice enough to put in a video, because I was not happy of the direction that it was going. So the next thing I did was to add these details on the side. These are actually parts, these very nice curved details, curved slopes, are part of the Creator 3-in-1 set that I modified to create a mouse a few weeks ago. I will put the link down below so you can go and check it out. The next thing I did is to add some details. So one thing I wanted to do is add some sort of communication dish on top. And here, luckily, I had a couple of pieces in this same color. You can see that already this detail make a lot more interesting effect. This is a plate and this is a like umbrella piece, like dish kind of thing. And we also have this one, which is gonna be our solar panel that is connected to a snowboard. So I found a snowboard that matched the color scheme, and I thought, okay, that could be a nice little detail to add behind this solar panel. So now these two details already make a much interesting detail, but I want to add more. Over here, I thought this must be an electric car, so let's add a little charging station, very simple, very straightforward. Let's put it there on an angle. So let's assume that the car can park here when coming home and charge under these arches. But now what I wanted to do is create this sort of style of build. So I want to create a frame, and I want the the moon surface. Now there is a little problem. Here is my base that I created. The set comes with these very nice big panels that make a smooth surface under this, and I don't have any of these panels. So what I did is work around it. I managed to add some little edges, because where I'm using arches like this one, I need to make sure that the bottom cannot be, nothing can be seen. So to find the support underneath, I actually attach the tiles on the other side. So when I put this in, that actually aligns nicely with that one. And I also had to put some loose pieces, and to fill up this gap because the math was not working out. So these pieces are gonna slide there, and I'm gonna put that there. So I have a little bit of the same style of craters, but again, I don't have all these nice completed round parts that I need to complete that. So what I'm gonna do is basically just keep all the craters to the edge. And because I have them in different direction, I also need to create different direction for this sideways build. So some are going that way, some are going that way, some are going this way. And that's the only solution with the part that I have available in my collection. But you can still work out a solution. You can see over here I didn't use the gray because it's going to be under the house, so it's not going to be seen. And here I have another big one, again, with some tiles underneath to support the whole thing. So this is going to go inside here and also will help me to keep then the structure stable on all sides. There we go. So a little bit ugly, later we'll cover it up, but now we have some craters, and I also added a sort of street lamp that kind of match this one. And I don't know if you noticed, but actually this part is not the same as that one, because again, this one I don't have it in my collection, so I substitute it for this one. And at first glance, you cannot really tell that it's different, but I try to create a similar style. And you can see this one is Dream Drive. So we have a little bit of details over there. Let me adjust this that came out of alignment. There we go. Now we can go and back and place our house on top. Potentially you can go work it out a little bit of math, adding some studs underneath so that you can actually attach it on an angle. I don't think it's necessary for this little display, so I just place it on top like this, and I think now it's starting to look quite interesting. Now a little bit more details can be added on the side. So here I added, for example, this curve like carpet, welcome carpet. We can have this little dog that come from the Friends Space Explorer Rover, which is a very fun set. So that is over there. I thought I could add a little bit of a plant outside of this house with something that look a little bit like some sort of moon type of or alien type of vegetation. So here we have a couple of swords that work as plants. And I thought, even though it doesn't make any sense at all, that this house will have also a mailbox outside, even though for sure there's not going to be a mail delivery on the moon, but that's what I have over here. I think now it looks pretty fun, again, with the possibility to then put the car over here. But of course, to finish this up, we need to add some details. So now let's turn this around. Okay, there we go. So we turn this around. We have a nice cut section over here, but of course we need to remove some parts. So I made this part so that it can be easily removed. The connections are not the best, also because, for example, over here, if you notice, I had to build sideways. These are tiles, because otherwise I would have to create another different type of connection on the side here at the bottom. It was a little bit tricky, so I decided to connect them sideways like this, and the similar thing I did also on this side as well. So the connection is not super sturdy, but good enough. The top part over here also can be removed easily, so we have access to the top floor where we have a bathroom, and this big windscreen over here can be removed. Potentially you can also easily remove this part over here, but I don't think it's necessary. We can keep it like this. So this part allow for easier playability, and actually also for me for easier access to place some details. So this is going to be the bedroom. So I have a very simple bedroom. I try to find a color that kind of contrast. Again, here, I didn't have much choice of colors. So I try to find something that kind of match, but based on what I have available in my collection. And also here a little bit of, actually this one need to go a little bit forward, like so. Added a little bag over there in that room. We can close it up. I also added a sort of light on top. And this is going to be connected there. It has a little bit of support at the front. So in theory, actually, let me take it out of this support over here so we can have a better look. So they basically can go and sleep by looking at the sky, by looking maybe at Earth from this moon surface. This one also can be removed easily, and this is gonna be the shower of this house. So I added this piece over here, this dish over there, to make the place where the shower, the water come from. So they shower with a view. Over here we have a bathtub with some water inside and a tap. This little square piece will work as the sink, to which we can also add another tap over there. So we have all the basic cleaning needs over here, and of course we need to add a toilet bowl. Very simple, very straightforward, very basic. Sit over here a little bit further away because we don't want it to be right at the window, but they still get the view outside, so I thought that was nice for them. And a washing machine, very basic, trying to kind of following this yellow and white color scheme. Again, working with the parts that I have in my collection. Now, at the bottom floor, we need to add a kitchen area over here on the side. So you can see over here already have one of those very old printed, sticker kind of oven, and then one sort of fridge over here with a drink inside, following color scheme. I'm gonna add a little cabinet with some accessories over here, and I think this is also a place where I can add a carpet inside this kitchen area, which is this very nice light blue carpet that fits perfectly nice over there. Over on this side, we have a nice printed part over there to add a little bit of decoration to the wall, and I wanted to add also a TV, which is mount at the ceiling. So this is, I don't know, some sticker from some set. Initially, I wanted to have one of those a bit retro, like bigger type of TV, but I didn't have enough space to put it anywhere. So I just decided to connect it on top over here. I'm gonna add a little bag that follow the color scheme, and this is gonna be at the back over there. We have a nice kind of tea table over here with this yellowish green or light green. I don't know exactly. I think it's a yellowish green color. This is a sort of plain piece with a phone that probably they're not gonna use on the moon, I guess, but never mind. I think this is a fun scene like this. Here we have a nice little sofa, kind of following a little bit this. I mean, there's not really a color scheme of the interior. I try to do each room is on different colors, but again, working with what we have. Over here, I wanted to add a table, a sort of dining table. So we have a kind of little sitting area over there and another little sitting area over here. And in between, we are going to go with this table. I'm not too happy to have this in gray, but it was the only round part that I have, like 2x4. So I'm gonna add here a newspaper that, again, probably never gonna be on the moon, but it's still part of this fun world that I created over here. I have a sort of small table here, side table with a lamp. Again, try to follow this accent color of this yellow that I have a little bit throughout the build. And maybe I can have another bag over here to give another splash of colors, and then we can close it up. I think also this scene, even though now it's not light up so you cannot really see it well, is a nice cut section that provides anyway a good amount of playability once you remove all the parts, and is a little bit cramped, but again, I'm quite happy with the final result considering all the limitation in parts and colors. Also, an interesting part that I didn't mention earlier is this one. So this part is a part from a Super Mario set, like the bottom of a big, like kind of Mario enemy like shell. This is a very interesting part and work very well to make it look like it's some steps that goes sideways to enter into this moon house. Anyway, a lot of difference was made thanks to this base actually. So the base here made a huge difference, I believe, in how this set looks. So it looks much better when it's placed on top of the base, and also match quite nicely with this one. So we can have this Astronauts coming back home, greeted by the dog, and going back to their life. So let me know what you think about this little moon kind of house. It was a quite challenging build, and not the one that I had in my mind when I started building it. But again, I had to pivot, work with my parts, and at the end, I think I'm pretty happy with the result, even though it's not exactly what I envisioned when I started this little project. So let me know what you think about it. Please consider also to use a little Lego set to inspire you to build something bigger. And if you like these kind of space builds, here on screen now you can find the video where I have the alternate builds of the Lego Friends Space Rover. That was another very, very fun project. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.